Alright, welcome back to Skater XL, which has a new beta. As you can tell, there is a new level. There are some other new features. There's a pin dropper, like teleportation thing. There is Vert now. There's grabs. There's big spin back tails. Couple other things. Oh, the replay editor mode as well. Some of the stuff was in mods before, and now it's in the game. So I'm going to show you all of that stuff today. But first, I'll tell you how to get it. So if you have the Steam version of this game, which I think is the only version, but if you have it, you don't automatically get the download, which is funny because you bought it in early access. Wow, that was weird. So you have it in early access, which is a beta, right? But you don't actually get the betas. Technically, I don't understand it, but you have to right-click on the game in your library, and then you opt into the betas, and then it will show up. It'll start to download. So this is a real skate park. It's called Poods Park, I think, in California. And in their blog post, I'm just going to screw around for a little bit. The controls are very similar to Session, but not similar enough that the skills transfer, so I'm trying to get used to it again. But anyway, they said in the blog post for this beta that they've learned that maybe real-life locations are not perfect for games, and so they're not sure whether the skate park is going to make it into the release version, which is interesting. So, like, you know, there's room for humans, you know, like space to sit down or whatever, stuff like that. There's the pool over here, which is over there, right? So to get there, you walk around. There's a sidewalk that goes down there. So if you want the game to be perfectly realistic, you would have to walk around that sidewalk, but that's not fun. That's not like video game. You know, in a video game, take away the safety of the fence, let me fly through there, and then I'll go skate it that way. You know what I mean? So like they're trying to figure out whether it makes sense to have realistic spots and stuff or not, and maybe it doesn't. So let me see if I can get over there actually. Oh, well, I could. Okay. Cool. So there is now pumping, which you do by moving your back foot up. So if you move your back foot down, you'll pop, but if you move your back foot up, you'll stand on the bolts, and then when you let go, it gives you a little boost of speed. I'm still getting used to it because, like, in skate, you have to crouch down, which I would do by hitting the trigger. So he'll like go for a grab slightly, and that's how I would pump, and I'm really used to that. In this game, of course, triggers are for turning, so it's actually very confusing. Don't check your phone. That was my Facebook, not yours. So yeah, let me see if I can do something. Oh yeah, I should do some grabs. So the grabs are on the bumpers, like that. You have a left and right hand. You tweak around like you do in Skate, where you can shift one way or the other and do different kinds of stuff, which is confusing and kind of difficult because, like, you can tweak with your front foot or your back foot or both, and like to the difference between a stale fish and like a front side tweaked indie, like they're both shifted front side. I'm going to try to do some over this hip. Like, they're both shifted front side, and they're both grab with your right hand, your back hand anyway. So if I shift, well, let me spin back around. If you shift front side and grab, that is an indie, right? Like he's grabbing indie. But if you ollie and you, dang it, I'm telling you, I'm getting used to this. It's really hard. There you go. If you shifty with both your back foot and your front foot at the same time and not do a hard flip, then you can do a stale fish that way, which is good. I mean, that just means there's more options as far as how many grabs you can do in the game and stuff like that. But it is pretty difficult to it's hard to not just do a hard flip because you have to move the left stick left after you get in the air, and then not forget to grab. And then if you're going to spin at the same time, you're hitting the triggers and the bumpers at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to try to do I want to do a stale fish over this fence. That's what I would like to do. Okay, I don't know how I cleared that last time. Did I go this way? A little bit higher, maybe. Okay, so I didn't do that, but I pushed all the way up the bank. I think that's what made the difference. Nope. Cool. So, yeah, the first thing that happened when I launched this game up, I haven't played it since I did my last thing on it, is that I couldn't do any tricks and land them on flat. Like, I was barely getting any air. I'll show you. Well, I can show you that. Oh, no. What is happening? Oh, no. And I'm stuck. Okay, here I am. I was trying to do a kickflip just the same way you do it in session, and you can barely land one on flat sometimes. I forgot that instead of just holding down with your back foot, you hold down with your front foot as well to get the height, and then you slide over once you get up in the air. So it's a little more complicated, but it also gives you more variety as far as your style. Don't Mongo, come on. As far as your style, so like you can flip slightly off to the front, and then it'll like nosedive slightly, you know, like that type of thing. Also, one of the big differences between this and session is when you're going fakie or switch, your controls are reversed. So fakie, I'm still holding down on the right stick to pop the tail, which makes more sense to me, but session does it the other way. It just has it, you just hold up. Oops, don't hold up to pump harder. Okay. Man, how did I clear that? I would really love to do this stalefish. No, come on, stop flipping. So you gotta flip, or you gotta tweak late, but not too late, because then you don't have enough time, but not too early, or it'll count it as a flip. This is tough. All right, I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be awesome. I might just have to give myself more space. In fact, I will give myself more space in a way that shows you one of the new features. If you hit Y, you get into the pin dropper teleportation mode, which I think is a genius idea. So let's say I needed a little bit more room. Let's say I want to hit this bank to get some speed. I'm not sure if it'll help. I'll probably just clear it. So I line myself up. I'm going to face this way to the lower part of that fence there. Hit A, and boom, here I am. Now I can just jump back to that. That's my new drop point, which is a really good idea. Because they were talking about, come on, is that still not enough? They were talking about in the blog post about this beta. There we go, stalefish, nice, cool. They're talking about in this in the beta notes that they're not sure whether they're gonna have you be like to add in walking. Like it makes sense, maybe that'll be in the future, or maybe it won't. And when you have that teleportation mode, you kind of don't need it. And I like it. So like in session when you get off your board and you have to walk upstairs and stuff, it's realistic. It makes more sense in like a sim type of game, but in the way they're doing it here is that it's more of a game, but in a way that makes sense. Like I don't know, I'm not sure. I like how it works. I think it's a good idea. They can add in getting off your board and walking, I guess, but I think it works just fine being able to do that. All right, I wanted to do, I don't know, maybe like a cab flip to grab or something. Yeah, that gap is just a little bit too high. It's like I have to push or act like I'm gonna push on the bank and then don't. Because like my foot doesn't actually touch the ground as I'm pushing up the bank. But that's what gives me enough height. I don't know, whatever. Instead of doing that, let me just skate back over here. Try to do some cool grabs and stuff. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like in real life and in this, you know, virtually identical game version, you have to walk down or skate down the sidewalk to get there. If you were to hop off your board, you know, there's a fence all the way around it because real life safety and whatever. Can't have people like walking around the park texting on their phones and they fall into a pool. So that makes sense for real life, not necessarily for a game. By the way, is this, ooh, to tail slide. Gross looking tail slide, but whatever. Is this technically a pool or a bowl? I think the way I've always considered it is, I'm trying to just pump and I'm not having a ton of luck. There we go. What was that? Let me go to the replay editor. Okay, because it looked like I did kind of a late shove it or something like that. Okay, so I was trying to do a cab heel flip. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, so like the board just kind of, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I guess it flipped a second time, but I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so like the way I always thought of it is like a bowl is an above ground wooden structure. Something like this, even if it's not designed for, or even if it's not designed to ever be used for swimming, is a pool because it's concrete and it's below ground. I think that's how I use those terms. I don't know if I'm right about that though. Okay. Yeah, it's hard because I'm trying to spin with the right trigger and I'm trying to grab with the right bumper, and it feels weird. All right, so I gotta come back to fakie, pump. Okay, half cab so I can stay fakie. Come on, man. All right, get a little speed. Supposedly, you might be able to pump also with your front foot. No, because you don't want to nollie. You just move both feet the wrong way. I'm not sure. It seems at this point, there we go. That was a good pump. Ollie, come back down to fakie. Here we go. Gonna do a cab. Ugh, man. It's still easier to just push, which it shouldn't be. Okay. Ollie to fakie. Cab flip. I keep doing a cab heel flip, but I don't really care. Either way is fine. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna push. You get so much more speed from that. Okay, not what I intended. I wonder if I should just, instead of trying to ollie into the pool every time, if I just started down here, pushed up to the first wall, ollie, pump. I don't know what that was. Yeah, so I do like the difficulty of the game from the perspective of, you know, it's not hard to do something, but it's hard to do what you intended to do. Half cab flip, Indy, nice. That's cool, I guess. No, don't nollie. Don't do that. Ugh. Yeah, the controls being flipped in fakie, although it makes sense, my instinct is always to flick the wrong direction. Come on with the speed thing. I'm having a hard time getting to the coping. Okay. Okay, cool. That was, I think, technically what I wanted, although I would not say that looked anything like what I would have expected it to. Okay. Okay, all right, let's see. All right, I need to change the camera mode. I'm going to go to free move. Okay. As far as I can tell, this is a lot like Session so far, where you can do keyframes and stuff, but it doesn't like smooth it all out like it does in Skate. Okay, so half cab. Oh, what? Oh, was that not the air that I landed? Where did I do the trick? Okay. Oh, you can rewind really far. I was just doing it based on like how much space there. That's the trick. Okay, come back. No, stop. Okay, here we go. I'm rewinding. Here we go. Get ready. So I'm rolling up fakie. Back, yeah, look at that. Board's nowhere near me. Okay, that's fine. Oh, that was like a fakie flip body varial to Indy 180. So yeah, like a cab body varial Indy. I know you might call it a different phrase, but you're not allowed to say that anymore. Yeah, that's weird. Like I just did a kickflip. I didn't like do a hard flip and spin, I don't think. But yeah, anyway, there's some stuff. Let me go somewhere else. Let me skate. Oh, there was a cool ledge. No, you know what? I'm gonna mess with some more grabs first. All right, I'll see if I can come up with show you a lot of the grabs. So nope, that is the no, dang it, I just lost my spot. That was the trigger and not the bumper. Okay, again, I need to have both fingers. There we go. Okay, so you got your mount. Or I'm doing a nose grab somehow. Okay, you can lean forward and do a tail grab. Again, this is a lot like Skate. It's just the two-way tweaks with both the front and the back feet are what make it a little bit different. Let's try to do something crazy. No, with the flips. Man, that is going to be tough to figure out. And it does something kind of weird too. So like if you bend down, if I move the left stick, my front foot left or right, it looks like he's moving it in for a kickflip or heel flip. But if you ollie, he just does a shifty. So like if you get ready for the shifty and then you ollie, there we go. Okay, so you can get ready for the shifty, let go, shift the other way. All right. Kind of makes sense. I wouldn't expect the foot position to change for something like that, but there you go. All right. Ooh, that was weird. I don't know what that was. It was like a nollie varial heel, but a really weird one. Okay, so I figured I would show you this game in its current form in case you don't have it, so you can see what's going on. At this point, I think I like Session a bit more. I do like the controls being switched around in Fakie and Switch so that it actually feels different in this game. I do like the more physics-based tricks so that you can do a trick that looks different from how other people might do it. So like if you do a... Oh, I was doing... you can do like a dolphin flip like that just by moving your feet in the right direction. Like it's not a pre-programmed move and the word dolphin flip will come up on screen or whatever. It's just like if you flip it the right way, it'll just happen. And I like that. I think I might need a little more air, but like you can and it'll just work. I do like that. It is a little bit strange though when certain tricks, like if you do a 360 flip, in the air, both of my feet are way behind me because I can't let go because then I'll catch it. So I'm flying through the air with my feet a mile away from me, which looks a little bit weird. So I don't know how well they're going to be able to solve all that. Is it going to be possible to have this like free, natural physics-based tricks, but also have it look good? Like that was a switch hard flip. That did not look like a switch hard flip whatsoever. Actually, let me double check that it was a switch hard flip. It was intended to be one. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that was a switch hard flip, but look at how weird that was. Right? Hard flips have always looked very weird in this game, in my opinion. Come on, rotate harder. Let's check out this sweet switch hard flip I did. Yeah, isn't that weird? It's just so messed up looking. So I don't know. We'll see if they figure that out. What was that? Okay. Try to do some tricks. So just like in Session, you can actually pre-wind to flip more. They in the beta notes they showed how the old 360 flips used to work, like a cab flip or something, you know. And they looked really weird. And now that looks pretty natural most of the time. Sometimes it comes out kind of crazy and you phase through your board and all that stuff. Again, this game is very early. It is what it is. I'm wondering how much can be solved with the style that they decided to go with. But yeah, let me come up with a spot and do some tricks. I do need to come up with some kind of videos for you guys. I've been getting slammed so hard at work. All right, maybe I'll do a line. I'll grind that and then I'll do some kind of manual. Yeah, I've been getting hit pretty hard with work lately, and I've been trying to just make stuff like this just so I can have something on the channel. I have a lot of videos in progress and just have not had the time to work on them. It's been pretty crazy around here. But whatever, I gotta take work when it comes so that I can afford to survive when it's not coming. Man, I need to come up with some kind of... I want to do like a kickflip front blunt. It's just that I'm going like 80 miles an hour after one push. So let me try. Yeah, kickflip front blunt. No. Yeah, it's just hard. Like you gotta hold on to the trigger, but not hold it too long while you're focusing on keeping your foot out of the way and all this kind of stuff at the same time. And then, of course, with Session, to do a blunt slide, you just move one of your feet over. You don't have to spin into it. Okay, I mean, that's kind of what I wanted. So it's a little bit awkward. Kickflip, okay. If I do a 180... No, I'm going to do a kickflip front blunt. I'm going to do what I actually want to do. Although it's weird that I'm seeing right through the ledge when I'm up there, so... Alright, kickflip, front blunt. Oh, technically, I mean, that's sort of like a tail slide on the wrong side, but I'd count it. I do need to come up with a... Oops, wait, what happened? Oh, if you hit the back button, you switch stances. That's cool. Alright, yeah, so I have been playing games lately. It's really weird. Like my attention span is terrible these days. Like everybody, I think. Let me see. Does that even look like a blunt slide? I just want to check that out real quick. My attention span is terrible these days, and like I can't bring myself to play games because it's only doing one thing, and I'm used to I'll either watch TV and look at Instagram, or man, that is messed up. The camera mode is kind of difficult to keep switching around. All right, but like I can't just do one thing at a time, so I have to either play games and okay, that looks awful. I have to come up with something different. Look at that. Board's going. Nosedive. Wait, no, it didn't. Okay, that might just be. Well, again, that's probably because of the style, like the direction I'm flipping it. So I decided to get a Switch. And that way I can play games as I watch TV, and then I won't feel like I'm wasting my time. Like I'm not getting bored just doing one thing. So I came into this whole, I'm gonna do like just a trick like that. I'm gonna do a backside heel, and let's try a fakie tray, fakie manny. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Oops. But yeah, so I got a Switch so that I could do that. And then I realized after a while, I was just playing it on my couch in handheld mode. I got Mario and Zelda, the new Zelda. I got those. I'm trying to remember how to do 360 flips. And after a while, I was talking to my buddy Tony, and he's like, the games look a lot better on the Switch if you dock them. I'm like, yeah, but then like I can't have my TV on at the same time. And so I finally decided, like a huge geek, I guess, to bring a second TV out. I have a second TV in my basement. Brought that upstairs, put it on a desk, and that way I can just watch two TVs at the same time. One has my game on it, and then one has my, Seinfeld reruns or whatever on it. Oh man, that was almost what I was going for. And then after I did that, I realized, wait a minute, I could switch these TVs. I could play games on my nice 65-inch TV, and I could have TV shows that I'm not paying attention to running on this crappy 37-inch TV. And then if I'm going to do that, then I don't even need the Switch anyway. I could have just done this on my Xbox. So, I don't know. It's such a weird, it's such a stupid thing to complain about. Like, oh, I can't be entertained by only one thing at a time. I have to be doing something else. Like right now I'm okay because I'm just playing a video game, but I'm also producing a video. I'm also talking and narrating over it. I just gotta be doing two things these days. I don't see myself getting that fake tray. I just have to be doing two things. Let me practice a fakey tray. I just have to be doing two. Oops. No, that switch is stance, not direction. So that would mean my controls are uninverted, I guess. Anyway. So yeah, it's a really lame thing to complain about, and it would be my dream as a kid to have any of the stuff that I have now, and yet I can't just use one at a time anymore. Kind of ridiculous. Alright, I'm going to do a backside heel flip, and then I'm going to do a inward heel flip, fakie 5-0. Sure, whatever. We'll count that. So check the replay. Peep the footy, as they say. I don't think anyone says that. Okay. So can I do this like in real time maybe? That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so let me hit play. Yeah, and then I can just like video myself. That's cool. All right. Well, that did not look great, but I did it, so whatever. Oh yeah, there's also the gear now. You can change your hat. Okay, not a lot of options. They're testing it. They're talking about all these mods that people have done, and they're trying to like incorporate them, but also do stuff that makes sense for them, I guess. I don't know. You got to read that. I don't know much about the mod scene with this game yet. You can change your shoes. Yeah, like that's it. But it's just like now that they have this platform set up where all that stuff works, now it's going to be easier to add stuff in because there's not competing mods that all do the same thing but in different ways. That was my understanding of what I read there. Ooh, nice. So, at this point, is this game worth buying and playing? It depends. Like I'm showing you the majority of. I do have one other video where you can see the first level, which is the courthouse. You can check that one out, and then that's pretty much the whole game at this point. I do think it's cool. If I had to pick, I'd pick Session at this point, but who knows? You can't do that. Well, actually, no. I did like a 720 triple hard flip or something in Session, so you can do weird tricks in Session, but it's a little more locked in. So like a 360 flip, you can not catch it and it'll do a 540 double and you can land that. You can't do like a 540 triple or a 540 single. You know, like the proportion just is how it is. In this game, I feel like you could flip it less. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Well, that was a 540 single flip, I think. Oops. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, come on. Look down. Oh, I can't. I'm locked in. Go down. No, not orbit down. There we go. Okay. All right, so nowhere near the board. 180. 360 single flip. 540. Yeah, it was starting to, but then it didn't. So yeah, like you could probably do a 540 flip and a 540 double flip in this game, depending on how you flicked. I don't think you could do that in Session. It just is what it is. Which is fine because, you know, you don't really need to do that kind of trick all the time anyway. And if it's going to look better but be more locked in, like it's just a different style, and they're both fine. So, yeah, new park, new stuff to do in it. It is interesting that they have decided that maybe real life stuff isn't good. You know, like I could theoretically grind along this fence if they took out all those poles in it. In real life, maybe you couldn't do that without dying, but physics would allow you to. It's just really, really hard and really dangerous. But in a video game, why does that matter? So anyway, I am curious for people who have been to this skate park if it's actually like 1-to-1 accurate. They were talking like it was, but I don't know if they went in like laser scanned it and have it, you know, to the inch perfect, or if it's just close. I think it'd be really cool to actually be in a place where there's a video game based off of it. I'm gonna skate over here. I like this ledge right here. I think it's high enough to do stuff on, and it's short and you get a little gap out of it. I wanted to roll up fakie though, which is complicated because if I switched around with the back button, then I would, my controls would be reversed. Anyway, if you use the, man, my turning isn't working great. If you use the pin dropper thing, you always are in your, in your plane, your forward stance. You don't drop a pin and then you're in fakie. Like you have to do it that way. As far as I keep mongoing, sorry. Although technically that's not a mongo in fakie because you, I'm trying to do a half cab flip crook, by the way, because if you push with your back foot and then put it onto the tail, like that's the same as it would be forward. If you push if you push switch and then get down onto the, oh nice, and you get down onto the tail, you're actually taking that extra step, you know, like you would with a mongo. I don't know. You still have to push switch in fakie these days though, because it just looks bad if you don't. All right. What else? I keep just flying right past this gap. What if I were to do like a half cab flip blunt? How's that sound? Sound doable? Okay, I mean, that's basically what I'm going for. Do I have enough height for that? We'll see. I do like the grind style in this game more than in Session. because you have to spin and lean and all that stuff in a way that feels a little more natural than in session, where if you spin like crazy, but you can... Oh, crap. Can I get out of that without... Oh! But you can tweak as far as you need to do grinds. Like, I don't know. I'm still getting used to how session plays. This one's a little more like skate, but it's also like feels a little better in my opinion. Okay. What if I just did a half cab blunt or half cab 5? Oh, it was cool, I guess. I wanted half cab blunt though. Half cab blunt. Was that a blunt? I feel like that was a blunt. Let me take a look in the replay. Kind of, yeah, that was a blunt. It was just the world's shortest. Oh, that was weird. Again, my my screensaver changed and it just freezes the computer. All right. Hey, cool. Yeah, all right. So that may be doable to do that flip in. Let's see. Yeah, like you got to flick the right direction to keep the board like vertical. That was a heel flip. To keep the board vertical. But that's what's cool. Like if I want to do this half cab flip blunt versus a half cab flip crook, then I can flick at a different angle so that the board kind of lands in position already. You know, like if you put a lot of thought and effort into it, you could do tricks that looked better in this game than any other game because you as a player can anticipate what you're gonna do. In different games, like your player just does the trick and then you do the next trick. You aren't thinking about it and linking stuff together. I was thinking about that when I was watching, there's a Tony Hawk video. It was on Wired, I think, where it's like the 21 stages of skateboarding or something like that. And he's showing like different tricks that show different complexity levels of skateboard tricks. And there's a trick he shows, it's one of the top ones. It's a 720 heel flip on vert. So he's going fakie, does a 720 with a heel flip, grabs Indy and lands. And he was talking, and I was watching the trick, and you can see the way that the guy spots his landing, where he looks down partway through, then he looks down again, and then he comes around at the last second, and his eyes lock down on his landing for the last, part of the spin, and he comes down and all that. In a game, you can never do that because your character doesn't care, or he doesn't know that if he's going to come back down normal or fakie, because it depends how long you hold the trigger, right? So he's not going to spot his landing. He's not going to he's not going to anticipate anything. And so games like this will never look perfect, but I do think it's getting close. It's starting to look pretty good. With this game, they got to figure out some of the flip trick animations and stuff like I was saying, but, the different styles and all that go a long way. Alright, so I believe I've shown you everything. There's the replays, there's the gear, there is the pin dropper, there is pumping, and actually I can show you pumping works other places as well. There's pumping and there's vert. Like I can pump right here. And I can do theoretically do an inward whatever that was. So yeah, you hold up on the right stick, and then you let go, and it should give you a speed boost. I'm sorry, I'm getting all these messages. So you can pump, and then you let go to get the speed, which is a little bit weird. Like, you're not pumping into the transition, you're pumping before the transition, I guess. I don't know. Who knows if that'll change or whatever. This is a beta. This is a beta of an early access game that you don't even get for early access, so like you can't judge too much at this point. But this is a game, if you like it, it's on Steam. You can check it out if you want. I'm excited about this game because they are making progress. They're adding in stuff. They're doing their own thing, and it's starting to play pretty good. It's just confusing to have both of these games coming out at the same time. I think that's really going to mess with me when I play either one of them in particular. So yeah, that's all the new stuff. Just wanted to show you that, get something up on the channel before I die of a heart attack at work. And check it out if you want to. If not, stay tuned, and I'm sure I'll show you more stuff with this game and session and everything else that there is as they come out. Now I gotta get to all those messages. I'm sure they're all work related, even though it's Saturday as I'm recording. But anyway, I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.